Hoffmann, Guinness World Record holder of the largest Winnie the Pooh collection in the world. And this video is very much overdue. I would like to give a big shout out and thank you so much to my absolutely wonderful Pooh Scout, Cindy V. Cindy V and I have been friends for, boy, I bet you 8-9 years. And Cindy is one of those wonderful people that has really embraced me being in the Guinness book. And she is just a fabulous lady. She's a videographer. So if you ever need video for a blog or for your website or testimonial videos, she does an amazing job. And she's out and about and she's always looking for something new Winnie the Pooh for me. So it might be at the dollar store, it might be at a thrift shop, but anyway, the two of us are in a business networking group together, and so I see her every other week, and she always has something new Winnie the Pooh that I haven't seen before. So this last week, she brought me this really cool kind of like backpack tote. And so it's got little pockets that, you know, somebody can put some things in. And so I plan to hang it on the wall and probably put some beanies in the pocket. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much, Cindy, for always thinking of me. And so it was kind of interesting with Cindy being a videographer, and she's always talking about the fact that if you have anything on VHS tape or Betamax or 8mm, she can actually take that media and put it onto DVD or electronic media so that you can still watch it today, because they don't make VHS players anymore. And so, so if you have VHS tapes, you know, with any home movies or maybe a wedding video, she can actually help you out with it. Well, it just so happened that this past weekend I was adding to my Guinness World Record collection, and I was adding some things to the database. And so I had actually acquired this item, and it's a CED disc, which stands for Capacitance Electronic Disc. And so it came out by RCA, and it's actually a video disc. And so it came out by RCA in '81. And some of you might be thinking, well, geez, I never even heard of this type of media, which doesn't surprise me, because if you remember, back in 1975, Betamax actually hit the market. Very popular. And then it was kind of overtaken by VHS tapes, which came out in '77. Well, it's really kind of interesting because these discs, as much as they're very cool, they were kind of behind the market. And they were actually contrived in 1964, but because of manufacturing problems and things like that, they didn't actually hit the market until '81. And so back when they were in production, they were known as VideoDiscs. But there was also a LaserDisc that was out at the time. And so the difference between the two is the LaserDiscs were read by a laser beam player, kind of like a DVD player. These were actually read almost like a record player. And so they went into the player and they were read with an analog stylus. And so that's how the picture actually appeared onto the TV. And so, and both of them took different players, and so they were really kind of incompatible, another one of the problems. And so the CED disc, it was originally meant to be played and handled kind of like a DVD, where you would actually handle it with your hand and put it into the player. The problem is that they found is that when dust got onto the discs, if there was any moisture in the air, the dust almost became like a cement. And so because they were read with a stylus, it would make the discs skip. And so, you know, that was part of the problem. So what they did then is they put them into these discs into this hard jacket. And so the whole jacket went into the player. The player would extract the disc, play it, and then when you were done, it would put it back into the sleeve. And so that made it a little bit more feasible to be handled. The problem was that because it was read with a stylus needle, it was only good for about 500 playbacks, and so that was another one of the problems. And once again, because Betamax and VHS were so very stable and very popular, these guys didn't have very much of a life. And so by the time it was 1986, RCA actually stopped producing these. So I always thought they were really kind of cool because I love the artwork on it. So you've got, you know, the front of the disc, you've got the back of the disc. I actually remember the very first movie I ever saw on this type of media was Terminator. And then the very last movie that was actually produced on these CED discs was Jill the Nile. So anyway, so that's your history lesson for today. Please make sure that if you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to talk about, you can always reach out to me at deb@mostpooh.com. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at mostpooh, as well as if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/mostpooh5150. So once again, you'll have another opportunity to enter the contest. So what you need to do is go to mostpooh.com, click on Never Enough Pooh and Contest, and you can enter any one of the contests that you haven't entered before. And so at the end of the month, I'll be picking a winner for a free Winnie the Pooh. So thank you very much for tuning in, and TTFN.